Hello everybody, this is Nate P, and as you can see we are not in our usual setting. I'd like to say we're in the wilds of the East Tennessee Smoky Mountains, but really we're in an urban hiking park called Concord Park in Knoxville, Tennessee. So I have another MRE review for you. We are looking at beef ravioli, menu number 18, in meat sauce. But the reason we're here, rather than our usual setting, is to see just how mobile these meals can be, and how easy or difficult it is to heat and eat one of these with nothing more than the contents of the MRE and a bottle of water. So, let's go ahead and get this open and see what we got. So, there's quite a bit going on here. We've got cranberries, sliced, beverage bag, sleeve for our food, accessory packet, beverage base orange, beef snack strip, spoon, FRH, chocolate chip toaster pastry, wheat snack bread, cheese spread with jalapenos, and our main, the beef ravioli. So let's go ahead and start with the drink and see how that goes. So according to our instructions, we're adding 12 ounces of water to this. That's just a little bit under our 12 ounces. I haven't really said this, but it's orange flavor, obviously. It's a very, very bright orange flavor. Let's go ahead and give this a taste. Yeah, it's pretty good, but it's damn near impossible to actually drink out of, because you're drinking out of a bag. Those of you who had to do this, I'd be really interested to know, how do you drink out of this, basically. Next, I want to take a look at our main, beef ravioli. Looking forward to this. One of my guilty pleasure foods is usually ravioli, Chef Boyardee style, so take a look at this. Before we do get to that, since we have a hot beverage bag, that probably means we have coffee, so let's take a look at the accessory packet. Packaged on the 90th day of 2015. Salt, which is what we're mostly interested in. I'm going to add this to the FRH. Try to drink down the rest of this so I can have some coffee. So, we'll see how well this is going to go. We've got some orange in there. I'm not so thrilled about that. And we got about 6 ounces. Our water in there well above the line. I'm going to go ahead and distribute this as best as possible. Hopefully not spill everything everywhere. There we go. It's starting to activate pretty nicely. And don't have a rock or anything, but we'll go ahead and set this against our tree stump. And you can see that going. Pretty darn good. Okay, so I'm not going to tear into absolutely everything. We got our toaster pastry. Take a look at that when I get home, maybe. We have wheat snack bread. This I am going to check out. I've had a version of this in the pesto chicken that was kind of seasoned, but I've never had the actual bread itself. Gonna try that with some of our nice cheese spread, jalapeno cheese spread. Okay. Got some really bright looking cheese spread there. Jalapeno flavor, but not really looking like it has jalapenos in it. That is tasty. That brings cheese spread up to a whole different level. It's really good. So let's take a look at the coffee. I didn't have this up against the heating element, so we'll just try it as it is. It's actually not bad. You know, kind of like a nice coffee. The orange actually isn't terrible either. It's pretty decent. Yeah, that's in some good shape. Go ahead and, where's our tear notch? along the sides again. That looks pretty good. Nice bits of meat in here. Got some ravioli, of course. Let's give that a taste. That is savory. Has a wonderful Italian flavor with, I think, oregano and basil. The sauce is great. That doesn't need anything extra. That is really good and pretty easy to eat. What I'm interested in, I always like a little bit of heat, is some cheese spread on top of this. Let's see what that's like. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's, you know, a little cheesy, a little spicy. I think I like this just as it is, though, without the cheese spread. I will say, unlike a Chef Boyardee kind of pasta, the raviolis here are not super mushy. They're actually got some texture to them, a little bit of tooth to them. It's really, really nice. Okay, so as for the rest of our items, we got a snack stick, we got cranberry slices, we got a chocolate chip pastry. I'm going to eat these, just not right now. I'm getting pretty full. And on top of that, I was talking to my wife about this. She's a Navy vet. She's saying that a lot of folks wouldn't really eat all of this in one sitting. Maybe some of you guys can relate. They'd basically eat the main, eat another portion of it, and then take these with them and kind of snack on them. So I'm going to be hiking around for a little bit more, and that's what I'm going to do, and I'll let you guys know how these go. So here's one kind of weird thing I've noticed. I'm out in the sun here. A lot of my gear is in the sun as well. Cheese spread seems to get kind of grainy when it's in the sunlight like that, and maybe I didn't knead it enough, but it's sort of got a weird grainy texture to it. Not bad, but just, I don't know, kind of the oil separated a little bit. It's weird. Hey everybody, we're back. Been hiking for another half an hour or so. Gonna take a look at these cranberries. Package on the 135th day, 2015. I've heard negative things from Kiwi Dude that these are kind of disgusting, but let's take a look at them. Now we got one of them all by their lonesome. They're pretty good. Not too sweet, not too tart. Really do taste like a cranberry more than a raisin. I don't know what Kiwi Dude's problem was. I'd be interested to find out, but they're pretty tasty. Oh, by the way, for all of you that might have been worried that I left all my garbage, I've got our MRE bag full of all the wrappers, all the everything that I took out of there, so everything that goes in goes out, right? Hello everybody, we are back in civilization. Forgive me if I'm out of breath here, but I wanted to kind of wrap up with one last item, the chocolate chip toaster pastry. Production date 105th day 2015, and I'm kind of wondering, are people staring at me because I'm talking to myself with the camera in my hand? But let's go ahead and get this on open. Probably the most crumbly toaster pastry you could ever imagine, but let's have a look. So surprisingly, it's in really good shape. Smells fantastic. So we got a pretty standard looking toaster pastry. What I'm kind of impressed by is that this is basically whole after having been in the MRE package and then shoved into the back of my backpack for the last 3 hours. I'm also kind of surprised that this doesn't really seem like it's a Pop-Tart. I mean, it is in the kind of generic sense, but it definitely tastes like a Pop-Tart, but just seems very slightly different from your standard, you know, Kellogg's brand Pop-Tart. And maybe these are made by Natick, not by the whatever Kellogg's company. So just a couple of closing thoughts while I cool off and have a bunch of random families staring at me. Overall, this is an absolutely amazing MRE. And I'm not just saying that because it's something I like. That's definitely a bonus. Beef ravioli is, like I said earlier, one of my kind of guilty pleasure foods. But more than that, I think, you know, and I'm guilty of this too, one of the missing components of a MRE experience is the physical activity and the being hungry. So before I filmed what I filmed, I had hiked into that park for about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. I was pretty hungry at that point, and everything in that MRE looked good. That being said, I think I lucked out in the FRH department that worked really well and got the food up to temperature that it should be. And, you know, that MRE in general mostly went together pretty well. The bread and the cheese spread, pasta and the tomato sauce, and then all these little fun extras like a Pop-Tart, craisins, beef jerky, that kind of thing. So I guess I'm saying that that's basically what I've learned, is that, you know, your MRE might not be the most delicious, but if you're hungry and that's the only food you got, then that'll be, you know, the most delicious thing imaginable. So this is a pretty cool experience for me. I think I'm going to try to do more of these in the future. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we got more videos coming.